Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a top 15 gourmand fragrances. If you don't know, gourmand is a fragrance that smells edible or smells like something that is a real food in real life. So typically gourmands are sweet and kind of more of a thick wintry like vanilla or chocolate. But as I will let you know on this list, there are a bunch that are very unique and ones that people haven't heard of. So stay tuned and find out 15 of the best gourmands in my collection. I will start by doing the ones that are borderline gourmand, but I don't know if everyone would classify them as a gourmand. All right, to start off this list, I have a very unique one, Mancera's Oud Black Candy. So Oud Black Candy is one that I haven't heard like anyone talk about. It's a very unique, discontinued Mancera, and picture a very resinous black licorice. So like as in the name black candy, it does smell like a very black candy licorice. And the reason why I'm saying this is a borderline gourmand is because there are some flowers that kind of smooth it out, make it a little bit more wearable, but like I don't think anyone would classify this as a 100% gourmand, but it's very interesting, and if you like licorice, you should check this out. So number 15, Mancera's Oud Black Candy. Okay, so number 14, I'm sure you've heard this being talked about it a lot, so I won't go too much into detail, but French Avenue's Liquid Brune. This is a pretty much one-to-one to Parfums de Marly Altair. So vanilla, praline, just this creamy and strong vanilla. It's gourmand-ish, but again, not 100% gourmand because of that ambroxan in the base. So number 14, Liquid Brune. All right, for this next one, we're going kind of complete opposite from vanilla, and we're going to Versace Eros Energy. So the reason why I say this is borderline gourmand is because the opening smells like lemon candy. So if you think like a lemon Sour Patch Kid, I think that's pretty accurate to what it smells like. However, the dry down is a lot more woody, and that's where people kind of compare this to the Creed Aventus DNA. So number 13 is Versace Eros Energy. Coming in at the number 12 spot is Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. If you guys know me, then you know that I absolutely love this stuff. I have 2 bottles and like a 10 ml sample. So whiskey, iris, chestnut. It's beautiful, it's boozy, it's chocolatey. I think this is like I guess a kind of a more modern day Dior Homme Intense. So if you don't like that ambrette note in Dior Homme Intense, then this is perfect for you. It's just a little bit too woody to be a full-blown gourmand, but I think this is like almost a perfect fragrance in my opinion. So number 12, I don't know where we're at, Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Okay, so I'll be honest, I lost count of where I am, but since it's not a ranked list, I don't think it matters too much. So next up, I will talk about Montale's Red Oud. This thing is really annoying, so I'll take it off right now. But Red Oud is this beautiful saffron and rose. So if you've ever had a saffron cake, this is very accurate to what it smells like. The only reason I also say it's not a full-blown gourmand is because there is this kind of a jammy rose, which I guess it would fit into gourmand section, like the gourmand territory, but it's almost like rose water too. I don't know. It seems like almost a made-up dessert, which I guess you could still classify as gourmand, but for now, since I'm not sure if everyone would classify it as a gourmand, I'll just say that this is an almost gourmand. Okay, so next one. This is a favorite of mine, Mancera's Oud Vanille. So this is a very interesting one. I feel like actually out of all the ones I've talked about, maybe besides Versace Eros Energy, this might be the least gourmand out of all of them, just because it's very woody. Like the oud, it's like a gourmand oud, but just because oud is such an odd scent, I guess for the average person, I don't know if anyone would classify this as a gourmand. So Mancera's Oud Vanille is this rich and creamy vanilla, and I kind of imagine it being next to a fireplace. So not in the way that it's like ashy or overly smoky. There is a smoke coming from the guywood in this, but I think that this is just a very, very well done fragrance. It's beautiful projection and longevity, gourmand-ish, not 100% gourmand, but I would check this out if you haven't already. Mancera's Oud Vanille. Okay, so the last on my list for the borderline gourmands is French Avenue's Vulcan Sable, Vulcan Sable, I don't know how to say it. So this is an inspiration of definitely in Humber Lucas's Sand Dance. So a very powdery chocolate fragrance. Chocolate can act very many different ways in fragrances, and the best way I would describe the chocolate in this is kind of like a cocoa powder. So if you imagine a cake mix, like a chocolate cake mix, and you just open the bag before you put any of the other ingredients in, this is similar to what it smells like. In the real Sand Dance, there's a little bit more of a boozy note, and I think that there's a whiskey listed in this. I don't smell it, but borderline gourmand, because it's hard to explain. I know I said it smells like a cake mix, but there's something else in here that's a little bit too maybe fragrancy to be a gourmand, but it's good. It's not great. I would check out the real one instead of this one because this one's not as high quality, but Vulcan Sable. Alrighty, so now we are in the full-blown gourmand territory. So if you love to smell edible, tune in. I'm going to start with a very unique one. It's not unpopular, but it is very unique. Mancera's Tonka Cola. Okay, so my best way to describe this is I'm going to have to paint a picture for you. So let's say you walk into a Coca-Cola factory and you're smelling all of the different Coca-Colas being like produced, processed, I don't know how it works, in these giant vats. And you walk in and you're also eating these Coca-Cola gummies at the same time. And then there's like a candied lemon in the background just floating around in the air. So that is exactly what this smells like. If you like Coca-Cola, it's more so of a Coca-Cola gummy than a Coca-Cola drink. But yes, this is very gourmand and it is very hard to wear. So I would sample this before buying it. Mancera's Tonka Cola. So the next one, I'm really sad that I only have a 30 ml bottle because the 100 ml is sold out. But Acro Awake is next. So if you like coffee, you're going to love this, especially more Middle Eastern people. This is coffee and cardamom, like spot on coffee and cardamom. So if you're used to smells like that and if you like them, you have to check this out. Projection and longevity is decent, not amazing, but if you just want to smell like coffee, if you want to wake yourself up from you know, like a long morning, this is a perfect fragrance to wear. Acro's Awake. Alright, so the next up is from the replica line of Mesa Margiela, and this is Afternoon Delight. So I only have a 10 ml of this. I didn't even buy this, actually. One of my friends gave it to me. Afternoon Delight is vanilla ice cream, like 1 for 1. It smells exactly like vanilla ice cream. It's very lactonic, a little dusty actually. So I mean, I know it's like vanilla bean ice cream. I don't know, some variation. If you like vanilla, you'll probably like this, although I have heard a lot of people say that they don't like this, that the lactonic can go sour to their nose, and I don't get that, but I guess sample before you buy. Afternoon Delight. Do you like the richest, creamiest hazelnut and chocolate? If you do, then Dolce Passione is for you. Where's the thing? There we go. So this smells like, out of all my gourmands, this is the, I don't know how to describe it. It's so thick and just like, it's so overbearing. It's an extrait de parfum. It smells like if you open a jar of Nutella and you smell this side by side. I mean, there's some like a little bit of an earthy tone coming from, what is it? I found the word. It's a truffle. So there's truffle mushrooms. I think that's what it is. If you like that, it's a slight bit of an earthiness, but oh my gosh, this is just Nutella in a bottle, genuinely. Like, if I smelled someone wearing this in public, I would kind of assume they spilled Nutella on themselves. And like, whether you want to smell like that or not is up to you. But full on chocolate gourmand, nutty, a little bit creamy, very thick and very heavy. Dolce Passione. Next up, Xerjoff Oud Tonka. So this is a very, very sweet and nutty almond. I'm trying to remember. This is a dupe of something by BDK, like Velvet Tonka maybe. I think that's the one. So if you like almond desserts, you will like this. It's very sweet though, so you have to be careful. I think this is only wearable in the very, very cold winter. It's almost as like thick and overbearing as Dolce Passione. Both are incredible gourmands, but you have to be in the mood for them to like them. Xerjoff Oud Tonka. Do you like maple syrup and coffee? If so, Bond Number 9 New Harlem is for you. Okay, so unfortunately, there has been a very major reformulation to the older batches. The older batches were like very thick, creamy coffee and maple syrup. And although this still has the very same, like a very similar scent DNA, the lavender in this has been amped up to the max. So this smells like lavender maple syrup, still kind of a sugary, fluffy pancake type scent in the background, but lavender maple syrup and a little bit of coffee kind of coming from the background. New Harlem by Bond Number 9. Okay, so we only have 2 more now, and we're going back to the House of Mancera. If you can't tell, I love the House of Mancera in Amore Cafe. So this is one of my favorites for the winter and the fall. I've only had it for about 6 or 7 months, but this is a very nutty and coffee vanillic heavy gourmand. So if you know what an affogato is, it is coffee poured, it's like a cappuccino poured over vanilla ice cream, and you kind of let the coffee melt the ice cream, and then you mix it together and eat it. And this is like exactly what that is, except that there's an amaretto note in the opening that makes this nutty and smooth and just like very luxurious. I think that this does a good job of not being too sweet, although I have heard people say this is a little bit too syrupy for their liking. But if you like coffee, if you like vanilla ice cream, if you like amaretto, you will love this. Amore Cafe. Last, but definitely not least, from the House of Xerjoff, I have 3 of their fragrances, only 1 gourmand, although they have some incredible gourmands in their collection. This is JTC, or Join the Club, Shuncoin. So, what is this? A very powdery almond and cherry blossom fragrance. So, it's actually a little bit similar to Xerjoff Oud Tonka or BDK's Tonka, whatever that one is called. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I think I said it before, but this is like a almond dessert. So if you know what marzipan is, I think, I'm not sure whether it's like an Italian dessert, but it comes from almond. It's like an almond paste. It's very luxurious. It's thick. It's nutty. It's has a little bit of a coconut vibe, like coconut shavings. So if you can imagine coconut shavings on marzipan and a little bit of a cherry background, not a synthetic cherry. It's not a medicinal cherry. It is a very realistic cherry blossom cherry. So last but not least, Join the Club, Shuncoin by Xerjoff. If you've stuck to the end, thank you for watching. And I have 2 more that I would classify as like a 50% gourmand, in the way that there's either like a very nice tonka and vanilla dry down, or in the air they might smell a little gourmandish. But Spice Bomb Extreme and Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal Elixir are both in the same category, where they have a gorgeous vanilla dry down, but I would not classify them as gourmand. However, I'm sure you've either heard of these or smelled these. They're very popular. But if you like gourmand-ish, but not fully gourmand, like a 50% gourmand, then I would check out both of these fragrances.